So any doubts regarding that? So have you gone through the solution? Any doubts related to that? Any doubts? So in the first problem, your outer loop count register 19, okay? Inner loop count register value 255. So you have to consider the first L1 loop, okay? So this loop will get executed 255 times, okay? So for this particular instruction, it requires 2 mission cycles. So 2 into 255 into 1.085 microseconds. So the answer is 553.35 microseconds. Okay. So this L2 repeats the same L1 loop 19 times. Okay. R2 is your count register. In this instruction, R2 is your count register. So the value is loaded here is 19. So you have to multiply this 553.35 by 19. So approximately 10 millisecond. Okay. And outer loop. So two instructions are outer loop instruction. So move R3 comma hash 255 and decrement jump no 0 R2 comma L2. So these two instructions take 3 mission cycle. So 19 into 3 into 1.85 1.085 microsecond. The answer is 61.84 microsecond. So you have to add this 10 millisecond with this answer. Again, the outer loop instructions move R2 comma hash 19 and return. So these two will take 3 mission cycle. So 3 into outer loop instructions, 3 into 1.085 microsecond along with your previous calculation. So your delay size will be 10 millisecond. So this particular loop will generate 10 milliseconds of delay if your execution time period is 1.085 microsecond. Okay, is that clear? Any doubts? Any doubts? Do you understand the problem? Okay. Regarding the next problem, we have 3 loops, 3 decrement jump no 0 instructions, that is L2, L3 and L4. So the first inner loop is L2, okay. So L2 here. So for that, 2 mission cycle, 250 times. So 2 into 255 into 1.085 microsecond. The answer is 553.35 microsecond, okay. So this L3 repeats L2 248 times, okay. So 553 into 5 microsecond into 248, 137,230.8 microsecond. Outer loop instruction, these two, so 3 mission cycles. So this one is multiplied with 248, so 807.24 microsecond. So you have to combine the first step and second step. So the answer will be this one, 138038 microsecond. Considering L4 loop, so this L4 repeats L3 and L2 11 times. So multiply this previous calculation value by 11, and outer loop instruction takes 3 mission cycles. So 3 into 1.085 microsecond into 11. So approximately 1.51 seconds. And these two are outer loop instructions of all your L2, L3 and L4. So these instructions take 3 mission cycle. So 3 into 1.085 microsecond. So these will be executed one time. So some 0.00 something 3255 microseconds. So this again added with 1.51. So your answer is 1.5 seconds. So this routine will generate 1.7. So any doubts? So for approximation, the calculation for delay routine, suppose you need to generate 219 microsecond. Okay, you need to generate 219 microsecond. For that case, you have to find out the counter value. Okay, so this is the general method, approximation method, to find out the count value, to find out the counter register values. Okay, this 4 is nothing but your major 2 decrement jump no zero instruction. Suppose in case of microsecond, only one decrement jump no zero instruction will be used in your delay routine. Suppose in case of millisecond, you have to use 2 decrement jump no zero instruction. For that, take 4 mission cycles. So this is the approximation calculation for identifying your count register value. Suppose in order to generate 219 millisecond delay time period, for that is equal to n into n is nothing but your count register value. 4 is for 2 decrement jump no zero instruction, 4 mission cycle multiplied with 1.085 microsecond. Okay. So find out the value for n here. So this is only approximation method, okay, to identify the count register value. So what is the answer? N value 219 millisecond divided by 4 into 1.085 microsecond. What is the answer? What is the answer? Hmm?
50.46.
In terms of இதுல சொல்லுங்க, complete value சொல்லுங்க. Millisecond microsecond cancel பண்ணிட்டு complete value சொல்லுங்க. 219 millisecond divided by 4 into 1.085 microsecond. So the answer is 50,000. So n is equal to 50,000. Your count register value should be 50,000. So according to your 8051, a single register cannot hold 50,000. Okay. So you have to divide this value into 2 8-bit numbers, the maximum of FF into FF. Okay. So this can be divided into 255 into 200. So what is the answer? 255 into 200. Approximately 51,000.
51,000.
So according to the calculation, you can set your count register. You can load this value to R3, this to R1. And make this one as inner loop and this will be your outer. So based on the delay size, we can calculate the count register value based on this formula approximately. Suppose in case of microsecond, you can use 2. For that situation, only one decrement jump no zero instruction will be available in your delay routine. In case of millisecond, you have to use 2. And the particular case, use 4. So just reverse operation. So here delay size is fixed. Based on the delay, we are calculating N value, count register value. So is that clear? So in homework problem, you have identified the delay size. So based on the size, you can check your count register value based on the formula. So that formula will give approximate answers only, not exact answers. Any doubts, ma'am? So let's move on to the next instruction branch, Boolean or bit manipulation instructions. So what is the first instruction? Clear carry. So this instruction will clear the carry flag. So 0 is transferred to C. Your carry flag is cleared. 1 bytes, 1 mission cycle is required. Okay. Next one, clear bit. So what is the meaning of bit here? So what does it represent? What is the meaning of bit? Any idea? What is the meaning of bit? Please tell me. The instruction is clear bit. So what does it represent? Any answers? So your bit represent bit addressable register individual bits. Okay. So according to your architecture, we have 9 special function registers. Some of the registers are bit addressable registers. So how many registers are bit addressable? Your P0. Okay. P0 is a bit addressable. We can access individual bits. P1, TCON, SCON, accumulator, B register, PSW, IP, P3, interrupt enable register, P. So these registers are bit addressable register. So using this instruction, we can clear the individual bits of your bit addressable registers. Okay. Example, clear P1.2. So using this instruction, we can clear the status of your P1.2. Individual bits can be cleared by using this instruction. So it's a direct addressing, direct bit. Is that clear? So you can give clear ACC.0. So 0th bit of accumulator is clear after execution of this particular instruction. So individual bits can be accessed. Okay. So next instruction is set B. Set bit carry. Okay. So it is used to set the carry flag. And next, set bit similar to your clear bit. So individual bits can be set to 1. So here you can give any bit addressable registers individual bits. Okay. And next, complement carry. Your carry will be complemented. Similarly, the bit will be complemented. Individual bit will be complemented. Next one is AND. AND carry with inverse of bit. Okay. C dot AND bit inverse. And after that, the result will be holded by your carry flag. C AND with bit inverse. Similarly, AND C with bit. Next, R instruction, CR with bit inverse. CR with bit. So 2 bytes, 1 mission cycle. Next, move C comma bit. So you can transfer the individual bit data to carry flag. So this will change the status of your carry flag. Similarly, carry can be transferred to individual register bits. So using this instruction, we can handle the carry flag in PSW. That is, we can access the carry flag status. So bit to C, C to bit. So these two, jump carry and jump no carry. And this instruction, these instructions, jump bit, jump no bit, jump bit clear. So we will see jump bit and jump no bit first, okay? So these two instructions are widely used in single bit operations, okay? So the main purpose using this instruction, we can monitor the individual bits of bit addressable register, and based on the condition, we can make the decision. That is, depends on whether it is 0 or 1, we can make a decision. So two instructions can be used for any bits of IO ports 0, 1, 2, 3. That is port 0.0 to port 0.7. Similarly, port 1.2, P 1.7. 2.12, 2.7, 2.0 to 2.7. So mainly IO ports are mainly used in this particular case, that is jump bit, jump no bit, jump bit clear, okay? Mostly the port 3 is used for interrupts and serial communication operations, okay? So typically it is not used for any IO, either single bit or bytewise. So it's an exception. Port 3 is the exception. So the main function is jump bit instruction. So this is the syntax, jump bit comma target. Okay. So if the bit is equal to 1, suppose for example, jump bit jump bit L1. So the condition is P1.2 comma L1. This is the syntax. So this instruction will check the status of P1.2. Okay. If P1.2 is equal to 1 means your program control transfers to L1. Otherwise, it will execute the next instruction. So that is the purpose of jump bit instruction. If bit is equal to 1, okay, if bit is equal to 1 means the condition is true, your program control is transferred to L1. Otherwise, it will execute next instruction. In case of jump no bit P1.2 comma L1, this case it will check the status of P1.2. If P1.2 is equal to 0, your program control transfers to L1. Otherwise, it will execute the next instruction. So, depends on the values, whether it is 0 or 1. Based on that, it will make a decision. So, that is the purpose of bit manipulation instruction. And jump bit clear. The condition is if bit is equal to 1. Okay, your program control transfers to the label mentioned in the address. After that, this bit will be cleared. After execution of this particular instruction, the bit will be clear. For example, jump bit clear P1.2 comma L1 means it will check P1.2 was equal to 1 or not. If it is equal to 1, your program control will transfer to L1, and after the execution, the bit is cleared. The particular P1.2 was clear. So look at the example given here. Jump no bit P2.1 comma target. So the purpose is jump if pin P2.1 is low. So first it will check the status of P1.1, whether it is 0 or 1. Okay. If it is 0, your program control transfer to target address. Okay. So next case, jump bit instruction P1.3 comma target. So jump if pin P1.3 is high. If it is high, your program control is transferred to target address. So similarly, jump bit clear, it will check for whether it is a bit is 1 or not. If it is 1, your program control is transferred to targeted address, and after that, the bit will be cleared. So whatever the bit mentioned in the instruction is clear after the execution. Any doubts? Just you read out the problem and tell me the solution for this. Monitor P1.5 continuously. When it becomes low, send 55 to P2. So how can we check this monitoring P1.5 continuously? So how do we monitor? Using which instruction?
JNB.
JNB. Okay. So here, when it becomes low, we have to send 55 to P2. Okay. So here I am going to use jump bit. If it is high, it will continuously checking the status of your port value. Once again. P1.5 L1. I am continuously monitoring P1.5 is equal to 1. Suppose if P1.5 is equal to 0, what will happen? The condition is true or false. See, I am going to monitor P1.5 continuously. Suppose your P1.5 is equal to 1 means the loop will be executed again and again. Suppose if P1.5 is equal to 0, what will happen?
It comes out of the
it comes out of the loop. It will execute the next instruction. It will execute the next instruction. Okay. So what is the condition given here? Monitor P1.5 continuously. When it becomes low, you have to send 55 to P2. Here, the instruction will be move P2 comma hash 55 and repeat the loop. Repeat L1. Again, you have to check the port status. Is that clear? So according to a problem statement, we have to monitor your port 1.5. Okay. So using jump bit instruction, I am going to monitor the P1.5 port pin status. Okay. If it is 1, the same statement will be executed again and again. Suppose if P1.5 is equal to 0, so what is the next instruction? The 55 is transferred to P2 and the same loop is repeated again. Same loop has been repeated. Okay. Any doubts? Any doubts? Is that clear? Example புரிஞ்சுதுங்களா? Students, please respond. So do this one. Keep monitoring port 1 indefinitely for value 99 and get out of the loop. Only value of 99 appears at port 1. So then class முடிச்சுட்டு கூப்பிடுற சௌந்தர்யா class போயிட்டு okay. So what would be the first statement? You have to monitor the port 1 value. So you have to get the value from port 1. That value should be compared with 99. Okay. If the accumulator or port 1 value is equal to 99, you have to get out of the loop. So first move the P1 value to accumulator and compare accumulator value with 99. So this is the logic behind this program. Yeah, compare jump not equal. Very good. So first, so let's assume your P1 is configured as input port. Okay. So you get the value from P1 and transfer the value to accumulator. So initially it is configured as input port. For that you have to move FF. So whatever value available at P1, that is transferred to accumulator. So after that, you have to compare this value, accumulator value, with 99. So L1 should come to which place? In comparing accumulator content with 99. After comparison, if both are not equal, your program control transferred to which line? So the condition given here is if both are equal, you have to terminate your program. Otherwise, you have to check the value available in the P1. So what is the next step? L1 enga varum. எங்க ஒரு L1 எங்க வரும் சொல்லுங்க, please tell me. புரியல உங்களுக்கு இந்த ப்ரோக்ராம்? Students, please respond. Move P1, #FF வருமா, அடுத்த லைன் வருமா? So initially configured அப்படின்னா அதுக்கப்புறம் அந்த input configurationலயே தான் இருக்கும். So every time we need not configure second line. Very good. So it's continuously, it will check the accumulator content value with 99. If both are not equal, you program control transfer to L1. Otherwise, it will exit. So this is the solution for this particular problem. So first you configure P1 as a input port and transfer the content of P1. So whatever data available in P1, transfer that value to accumulator and compare accumulator value with 99. If both are equal, you come out of the loop and terminate the program. Otherwise, keep on checking the value of P1 with 99. So that is the logic. So next class we will see about the remaining programs. Okay. Up to this, any doubts? Okay. Thank you.